Good evening, everypony. Today's story seems pretty tongue-in-cheek, so let's begin this episode of FIM Roulette, a series where I go through the annals of fiction, take a random story and a random chapter from within said story, if applicable, and read it aloud for all of you to hear. Red and black alicorns are something I've certainly made fun of in the past, so I'm excited to read a story seeing the humor in the edgy, all-powerful OCs teenagers like to make. Not to say I'm clean of sin, I've made edgy OCs in the past myself, but I think that's probably why it's so much more fun for us. Not only are we laughing at such silly creations, but we're also laughing a bit at ourselves as well. Now, let's not waste any time. As always, we'll start with the introduction and then head into our selected chapter. As there is only one, we will get the luxury of reading this story in its entirety. Without further ado, this is Wherein the main character is an Alicorn OC's son, also an Alicorn OC, and despite the first and second fics being unsuccessful, the third fic was being written but abandoned halfway through for unexplained reasons and posted anyway. By Scooter Reader. This story is a sequel to Wherein the main character is an Alicorn OC's son, also an Alicorn OC, and despite the negative reception of the first fic, a sequel was made anyway. Shadow Incredible, the greatest pony to ever live, endorsed, pending, by and related to Lauren Faust, has been successful in saving the world, and it looks like Equestria is going to have several centuries of peace and prosperity thanks to his direct intervention. He has his loving wife, Princess Luna, great friends that do not include Pinkie Pie, and it seems things are looking up for him. That is, until Luna gives birth to a foal that's more awesome than he is. This story will contain some profane language, such as usage of the word censored, because this was denied based on having profanity in the title, and no, I'm not kidding, it really was. I should probably go fix the other two before they get taken down for having profanity in their descriptions too. If you're not sure why, you should check out Wherein the main character is an Alicorn OC, or its equally unsuccessful sequel, Wherein the main character is an Alicorn OC's son, also an Alicorn OC, and despite the negative reception of the first fic, a sequel was made anyway. This was heavily inspired by Shrek the Third. I've never seen the movie, by the way. If you manage to enjoy the entire trilogy, make sure to go check out Zatharos' sequel trilogy, part of his ongoing story, What the Heck. They are chapters 26, 27, and 28, the ones starting with Wherein. Zatharos is even more meta than Scooter Reader. And now onto the chapter, Scooter Reader's magnum opus. Alright, so I've been getting a lot of complaints about how exactly Shadow Incredible and Princess Luna are related. They're married. That's how they're related. I know. Celestia is Shadow Incredible's grandmother and all, and she's related to Luna by blood, but after like 2 degrees of separation, you're no longer legally related. It totally works. Trust me, I'm the author. Anyway, so back to where we left off. Shadow Incredible is totally banging Princess Luna, right? Well, he's too cool to use protection, because we know only dweebs care about that kind of stuff. And he's extremely potent, being so awesome and all. So Luna invariably gets pregnant. Luna can't be fat or anything, so she uses her Alicorn magic to transfer her foal to Twilight, who's got nothing better to do. Shadow Incredible, while somewhat unhappy with Luna's choice of a surrogate, is still thankful that he doesn't have to deal with that anti-Pinkie Pie bullshit. That was Luna's second choice, too. Luna can't make as awesome of choices as our great protagonist. Now, you're wondering where shit starts getting crazy. Oh, right about now. So, the Alicorn foal comes out of Twilight, right? And Luna looks at the foal, and she says, "This is the perfect hybrid of my incredible husband and I. We shall name him Shadow Luna." Then the foal talks. He just came out of Twilight, and he can already talk. He's making up for his substandard surrogate already. "Look, Mom, that's gay and all, but I'm totally not gay. I'll pick my own name, all right?" Luna, shocked that her son would propose such a rebellious thing right out of the womb, says, "We shall allow no such thing." The newborn Alicorn just puts on a pair of sunglasses and says, "My name is Scooter Reader." That's when Shadow Incredible talked. This is my son, and I will love him no matter his differences. I love you, Scooter Reader. He wiped a manly tear from his eye. Such an incredible father. Okay, so the burning question here is, how does this pony know how to talk? I know that's what you were thinking. I am the author, after all. Well, see, I live in Equestria now. Like, I'm actually currently in Equestria. I live with my super hot mom, Princess Luna, and my awesome dad, Shadow Incredible. I know you're all jealous, but that's just how things are. Better get used to it. This is an origin story for me. It's a retelling of my first few days in Equestria and how Shadow Incredible and I became an inseparable father and son. All based on a true story, but I may embellish things a little. Now, the next question here is, how did I get to Equestria? Well, there I was, thinking up an idea for the third fic in the Darkness Awesome and Shadow Incredible saga, when suddenly there was a bully from school knocking down my door. Now, you guys know that I, Scooter Reader, can't be some pasty-skinned nerd that lives with his parents and gets most of his work out from typing messages in World of Warcraft. Well, see, I'm not. I have bronze-colored skin, and I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but with muscles that don't look like bubbles. I'm really beefy and so tan, the Jersey Shore guys are envious. So, this bully's like, lol, I'ma kick your ass. I raise my hand to strike this guy, but then I'm like, you're not even worth my time. The bully is like, you're right, I'm not, and he walks away. Then, all of a sudden, I'm sucked backwards into a portal that spits me out of Luna's womb. I'm too awesome to be birthed by Twilight. So, Shadow Incredible is more than excited to have this fiercely independent new son. Luna, his wife, is a little unsure at first, tries he might to reassure her. She's still a little afraid of the new addition to their family. Scooter Reader, of course, knows how to reassure Luna. Look, Mom, I didn't ask to have you as my mom, and you didn't ask to have me as your son. We're family, though. We'll have to get along eventually, so why not now? Luna bursts into tears. We love you, Scooter Reader. We are so sorry for our callousness. Scooter Reader smiles. It's okay. It's fine now. We just need to be a family unit, and I can't stand to be a part of an unhappy family. Shadow Incredible laughs and says, So we're a family again. I'm overjoyed my son is so wise and intelligent beyond his years. Luna, how about some dinner? Luna bows and bustles off to make dinner, knowing her role as a female member of the household. This leaves Shadow Incredible and Scooter Reader standing alone in the living room. I know what you're thinking, Scooter Reader, comes Shadow Incredible's ominous portent. Scooter Reader retorts, So, stop me. Shadow Incredible laughs at his son's antics. Oh, please, I want to go adventuring with you, to, make sure you're safe. But Scooter Reader knows he just wants to go because he wants to bond with Scooter Reader. Quite unlike what Darkness Awesome wanted to do with his son, and quite unlike what Scooter Reader's biological father wanted to do with his son. At least Shadow Incredible is my real dad now. Scooter Reader smiles, then they eat Luna's lovingly prepared dinner and get out of that place to go adventuring. So their wandering hooves take them first to Canterlot, where there's a changeling invasion. Shadow Incredible lets Scooter Reader take care of everything himself. Scooter Reader single-hoofedly beats the asses of every single changeling there. Then he gets to the end and totally bangs Queen Chrysalis. He's so potent that his genes cross species, and Chrysalis has this awesome pony-changeling hybrid that, were this not the final story in this series, would totally be the subject of the next story. After saving Canterlot, Scooter Reader, of course, needs to go see his grandma Celestia, who's gotten old and batty. He walks into the castle and sees her, all hunched over and with a giant gray beard and a false eye. The decrepit ruler bows to Scooter Reader, saying, O great savior of our nation, and champion of all ponies, Scooter Reader, I wish to bestow upon you the right to overrule any decision I make in Equestria, and assume control over any and all aspects of the kingdom at all times as you see fit. Scooter Reader replies, "You know what? I will do that. Thanks, Grandma." He's so awesome, he even respects his elders. Then Luna comes in and is like, "Scooter Reader, we were very impressed with your performance. Now, perchance, we will experience thine performance in bed." Scooter Reader, of course, can't turn down the hottest princess. Plus, she's not related to him. So he's like, fuck yeah. After they bang, Scooter Reader finds Shadow Incredible, who is making amends with Princess Celestia after they've been feuding for so long, and how Scooter Reader has become their bridge to his second chance at truly becoming happy again. Scooter Reader only blushes and says, "I'm just doing what's right for everyone." He's so modest. Scooter Reader and Shadow Incredible take off from Canterlot again. Then Shadow Incredible is captured by Diamond Dogs. Scooter Reader busts into the cave and announces, "I'm here to save you, Dad." The Diamond Dogs are all like, "No, run away from the awesome pony," and "We stand no chance." But Scooter Reader doesn't listen to their taunting and literally shoves their heads into their asses. That's what they get for screwing with his dad. And maybe they've learned their lesson this time. Scooter Reader just saunters out of the cave like a total badass, his dad following behind him and shocked at just how awesome of a stallion he helped create. Then Discord comes along and tries to trip him. Scooter Reader isn't gonna put up with this kinda shit, even from someone as cool as Discord. So he socks Discord in the face. Not even limitless power born of chaos can save Discord from a hoof to the face provided by Scooter Reader. Discord, of course, feels awful about being such a dick and apologizes profusely. Scooter Reader says, "Look, just stop being such a dick." Discord agrees to this and leaves before Scooter Reader decides to not be so generous. Then Gilda comes up to him and is like, "Look, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be cool so that you'd notice me." Scooter Reader is like, "It backfired." But he's never been inside a griffin before, so he totally banged her. Gilda thanks Scooter Reader for his generosity and leaves. Then Trixie comes up and says, "I only became a street performer to show you how talented I am." Scooter Reader replies, "There's only one place you need to be talented," followed by a wink that causes her to faint. Then he bangs her. Trixie then leaves. No sooner does she disappear from sight that Celestia, Luna, Cadence, and Twilight all come up and are like, "We're all royalty, but we need foals, and only your seed is worthy of being in us." Scooter Reader bows to all of them. Then he bangs all of them at once. Shadow Incredible is applauding the entire time. He is cheering his son's sexual prowess with cliched slogans such as, "That's my boy. Yeah, you show him who's the dominant one here." And, "Wait, isn't that my wife?" Scooter Reader doesn't need to be validated by his father, but he appreciates the praise all the same. He and his dad then continue on their journey, taking them to Manhattan where they meet up with Applejack's relatives, Aunt and Uncle Orange. Aunt Orange is totally banging, so Scooter Reader asks Uncle Orange, "So what do you do for work?" Uncle Orange replies, "I trade stocks." Scooter Reader nods and tells him, "I'm Scooter Reader." Uncle Orange bows his head in defeat, then professes, "I'd never feel right if I stayed with my wife knowing you deserve her far more than I do. Go ahead, I'd be honored if you totally bang my wife." Scooter Reader totally obliges. Alright, so I've shown you all the good stuff about Scooter Reader, right? I mean, he's absolutely incredible. But, well, he's just like every pony. He has character flaws. So, in the paragraph following this one, I'll be telling you every single flaw that Scooter Reader has. Get ready, because your mind will be blown at just how much like us he really is. Author's note. I hope you are as touched by Scooter Reader's story as I am. I feel he's had a real impact on my life through his example. Scooter Reader. That was incredible. Just what I wanted from a title like that. Scooter Reader truly is a national treasure, a writer whose prose is up there with Dumas, Homer, and Colleen Hoover. It was so dramatic it had me at the edge of my seat, and the romance had me in tears how sweet it was. Scooter Reader truly is the embodiment of all things good, and what every person should strive to be like. My only complaint would be that Pinkie Pie was mentioned in the story. Really the only issue, even if it was necessary. My question for you, my dear viewers, is how will you go on knowing that you will never be a Scooter Reader? After gaining this knowledge, it will be hard, knowing we will never reach that level of perfection. This was Wherein the main character is an Alicorn OC's son, also an Alicorn OC, and despite the first and second fics being unsuccessful, the third fic was being written but abandoned halfway through for unexplained reasons and posted anyway. Thank you, Scooter Reader, for writing such a wonderful story. The link will be in the description below. And thank you, listeners, for joining me on this exciting adventure. This is Open Air signing off, but don't worry, I'll be back soon with another Film Fiction Roulette.